21st of December, Wednesday, MAO with Kel. Thank you BOJ, thank you Mr. Yen, and thank you Tesla for the 138 level. I think that yesterday everybody was happy because the DOW came down and we got our perfect profit level was done, and then the market rebounded from there. And of course in the night we have our sell order done 3 days ago, and the buyback order was done at 138. So we really had a very good time. So once again guys, this is the beauty of having MAO or watching MAO, because you get to hear great stuff from us, and of course you can utilize the calls, you can use it for your profits and your trading. Alright, let's go. Now once again, do make sure you do your risk assessment, and of course thank you AIMS for the kind sponsorship. Now, last night, we saw the Dow Jones recovered 92 points, the Nasdaq down by 12 points, and the S&P 500 up by 4 points. But the thing is this, the low actually went down to about 32,550 level, and that was where we bought back the position. Now, last night, you can see that the upside were not very spectacular. We have several greens, mostly grays. That means that there's no much changes. And even the upside itself, right, is quite small. But of course, for the low end, they went, and then the rebound, probably you can say it's a bit of reversal. So let's take a look at what happened now. 2 days ago, we've been calling for sell on, 3 days ago, calling for sell on the Dow Jones when it broke below the BNB support level at 33,400 over. And then it went down to 32,950 plus. We call for more sell. And the thing is this, we call for a buyback of our position at 32,549. Now, the amazing part of the thing is this, we actually calls for sell before it reached there, and we gave the level of 32,549 way before it happens. And the main thing is this, and once the market hit that particular level, the market actually rebounded. Oh my goodness. So it's as if that the market actually knows this number. And you can see from the posting that we put into the market. Let me just bring in the some colors in. You can see that, right, we call for sell on the 16th of December, and we gave the target. We say that, okay, we're selling at 32,950, and we are aiming at 32,549. So that is the same level that's mentioned right over here itself. And of course, the people who followed made about $400 on this particular trade. And also the next about 2 days later or 3 days later, all right, we call for sell again, and we mentioned that this is an add-on position, and we were confident. So with those people who actually saw the word confident, they actually played and traded more. So same thing, we shorted about 32,920 plus level, and we also said that we'll buy back at 549. And of course, for this particular trade, one of the follower made about $781. That is more than the fee that they paid to us, which is $888 Sing. So once again, guys, all these were done before the market actually comes off. And the thing is this, we amazingly managed to pick the bottom, and then the market actually goes up. So this is why many people are involved in this Follow You Telegram. So if you want to join us, quickly now PM us through Facebook, we will get back to you. All right, so the thing is this, with that, what else? Wow, there's more to come. Now, BOJ, okay, was the main reason that caused the Dow Jones to come off in the first part of the day. So what they did is that they expanded the range of fluctuation for its long-term interest rate policy on Tuesday, and they're keeping the target at 0%, but allowing the 10-year yield to rise up as high as 0.5. So actually, this move is very clear that they're looking to increase their short-term interest rates. But the interesting thing is this, the yen obviously reacted immediately, and you can see that the yen really came down. And this is the Nikkei actually, this is Nikkei, but the yen also came off, all right? So this is actually not a very good sign, right? Of course, because the BOJ has been keeping a low interest rate environment for a long time. And if they were to come in and increase interest rate, that speaks a lot about the current situation right now. So, but the interesting thing is that in the afternoon, later on itself, right, BOJ came in and just basically go through what they said. But they actually says that, Kuruda says that, it says steps are not to rate hike, prelude to exit. Oh my God. So immediately the stock market actually rebound from there, and that's where 32,549 was traded, and the market rebounded. So not too sure who followed who. But the thing is this, we have the expert saying that right now, the current situation now may not favor the Japan market. Let's hear him out and see what he has to say. Let's bring him in. Okay, there's some error on the sound. Just give me a minute. Okay, here we... Moment for a while. Let me just get the sound up. Alright, the sound is back. Let's hear it out. Oops. Oh, there is this problem with this thing here.
Of the governor's press conference that he emphasized, he repeatedly saying this is not tightening, this is not tightening. And his reasoning is that if you look at the real interest rate, nominal interest rate minus inflation rate, that has been declining because inflation rate was going up. And raising nominal interest rate is just moving back to neutral in the real interest rate sense. So that part, I think he's right. And but he also denied this is not a step toward exit, and he's not preparing for any change in the monetary policy framework. That is probably not quite true. If you look at the so if you look at the inflation.
So you hear what you want to hear, right, guys? So the expert is already telling you that doesn't make sense. So all I can say is this: the chart don't lie. And of course, by looking at this interview and the chart, you can tell you the reason. You can see that the Nikkei dropped more than more than 3% yesterday. And today itself, right, the Nikkei hardly recovered, okay, hardly recovered. Now, in terms of technical, we are already near a technical level for a supposed rebound, but yet the market did not rebound. So this is not a good thingy, because when the technical call for rebound and it doesn't, there is a possibility that the Nikkei may be traveling down on the spot market to 25,700 region. And that is where the common low were the last few rounds. So that is where I suspect that something is going to happen. And of course, you look at the yen also doesn't serve any justification. The yen collapsed from 137 to 131. That's 600 basis points in a single day. And usually at the bottom, right, we will see the usual rebound. But again, this morning until now, this is the latest update, there is no rebound from the yen. So all this tells you that whatever Kuroda says, something is wrong, and the boys actually know this. So I'm not convinced by the yen, I'm not convinced by the Nikkei. I think that there will be more to come. All right, so that is where, remember, I was sharing this a few videos ago, that this happened to be the federal discount window. And the thing is this, the last time we see it was being utilized was back in 2020, and now it's rising up again. This is not a good sign, because the way it's moving now shows that there is some desperate need to have money borrowed from the Federal Reserve. Right, this discount window is an instrument of monetary policy that allow eligible institutions to borrow money from the central bank, and usually on short-term basis to meet temporary shortage of liquidity caused by internal or external disruption. So the thing is this, as I mentioned, it's like, borrowing your money from your mother-in-law, because that when you actually have to be forced to borrow this money from the Federal Reserve, your rating will actually goes down. So usually until very extreme circumstances, then people will do that. So now all these things tells me that, right, there's a rational reason why BOJ actually says that, and it's just to calm the market. And if that is the truth, then things can get very ugly very, very soon. All right. So the thing is, other than what happened in the yen and the futures market of Dow Jones, remember a couple of days ago, I was telling you guys, Tesla will see 138. Not too bad. I got about 327 views, more than my rest. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to this itself, right, get a friend to subscribe, because you will get all these powerful calls from me. And you can see from there itself, right, okay, right, we've been calling for sell, and the time the Tesla is at 160 level when we call for sell, and I was very adamant. I said that 138 will reach. That's where you can see that. I put it on the charts and I was pretty confident. Now, some people were telling me, Kel, the market was very near the low end, so most likely there will not be the downside. Some even tell me that because of the high volume that day itself, that shouldn't be further downside. Now, for me, I'm a very straightforward trader. If I think there will be, I'll stick to it until I'm proven wrong. So the next time I call for it again, I put in the interest rate factor here, I explain the situation, and I said that if the market breaks below 160, it will go down. And true truth be told, the market closed at 156 back then, and I tell you guys that 138 will be hit very, very soon. And you can see on the screen right now that the Tesla share actually goes down to 138. So the thing is that I thought that we thought that this Elon Musk is leaving Twitter, right? So-called, and then that should be able to help Tesla. But the thing is this, do you know that what's the similarities between the Empress Dowager Cixi and Elon Musk? Let me bring this to you. So Elon Musk says that he'll step down as Twitter CEO after finding a replacement. Okay, that is something good. But the thing is this, right? Do you find it very familiar? Well, to me, it's immediately the first thing that comes to my mind is Cixi already. Why? Because if you remember, Cixi actually was the Empress that really runs China behind the curtain, and the son that was involved was Tongzhi. Alright, so this is the woman that runs China behind the curtain, and to me it's alright. Elon Musk, by doing this, is just basically find someone to run Twitter in front, but actually he runs the thing at the back. So by doing this replacement act itself, right, not only he basically calms down the Tesla investors, but also it actually give him still the right to, run Twitter from the back. So to me, it's the same thing. So of course, you can see that I'm not making it out, because apparently he came in and said this, right? Initially, he gave it a poll, and people are like, okay, we want you to get out of this. And he says that he will resign as CEO as one he finds someone foolish enough to take the job. Okay, that is a very heavy word. And of course, the thing is this, whether for or against, please let your elected representative know what you think about this 1.7 trillion spending bill they're trying to pass. And obviously, he's hitting the Democrats, and then he says that the bots are coming in. Okay, so people who have been his so-called AD came in and say, look, Elon, it's unwise to run a poll like this when you are the deep state enemy number one. Obviously, talking about him versus the Democrats. And they have the biggest bot army on Twitter. They have 100,000 analysts with 30 to 40 accounts all voting against you. So let's clean it up and run this poll again. The majority has faith in you, okay? And then after that, you can see that some people say, why don't just let the blue subscriber to vote instead? So all this thing, when he said all this itself, people feel that he's not really sincere in leaving Twitter. And that is whereby people fear that he will still run Twitter. The most is from the back. And that causes the market to feel uneasy. And that's the reason why you can see on the screen right now, brilliant. You can see that Tesla share coming down to 138 beautifully. Exactly itself. My God, down by 8% in just a single trading day, and we got it 138. We bought back all at the closing price. This is amazing. So again and again, whether you believe it or not itself, this technical level is really incredible. And of course, if you imagine if you have access to this, this is going to be very, very spectacular, right? So over here itself, you can see now that people are now getting very worried because they feel that Elon Musk is too much into Twitter, and that's why the investors are actually getting out. And of course, while Tesla is going down, this Cathy Wood is still buying. Now, she has been buying more Tesla, okay? She's been buying more Tesla. So I really hope that, I wish her best. I'm sure that there will be a technical rebound today or tomorrow, but that will be it. The next level where you go, right, I'm not too sure yet. I haven't done my homework, because to me itself, I've done the first round and we have made the money. So maybe if you guys want to know more about the view of this Tesla, you can come and join us in MAO, alright? But once again, for those who have been following through, congratulations to your big success. Well done, alright. So the next counter I want to talk about is Amazon. Now remember, Amazon was trading at about $85 right here when we were covering Tesla, and then from Amazon rebounded all the way to 102. That was where I gave my call. I mentioned that if the market can stay above 102, it may see a recovery to 114. But you can see that the market actually closed below 102 after touching it. So I was pretty confident, and I said that most likely the market will come back down to revisit $85. And truth be told, we can see that the last 2 days, Amazon shares came down to $85. And of course, there's one particular guy is pretty bearish on Amazon, and this guy is Jim Cramer. Let's bring him in right now and see what he has to say for us.
Like one of those buffets, a circus, it's really fabulous.
Yeah.
Because it's not a buffet. I mean, Amazon is in trouble. Now, they're not in trouble financially. They're in
how
trouble
are they in
with
trouble?
revenues to expenses.
Yes. Okay.
David Oldfang is revenues
yes,
to expenses.
they all are. That's right.
Well,
And they've all gotten
the
too
world
fat.
was their oyster.
And that's why it is interesting.
The
to
world
read
was their
some of
oyster.
these-
Now they're eating oysters
Right.
they don't have them at the door.
And productivity, by the way, is down at many of these companies. People aren't really working on Fridays.
They're not 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 working
I have a study that shows that they're playing
You have a study?
Call of Duty on Friday.
You have a survey?
I have, yeah. Sitting.
All right, so what is happening right now? Even this. Now, of course, we all know that this Jay Cramer is like a beacon, right? So when he is bearish itself, the market may turn bullish. And from the way the market closed last night and the volume, I just have to say that, well, expect a little bit of rebound. But again, it may really see the $80 mark. Yes, indeed. I think that most likely Amazon will see the $80 mark because we all know that Amazon has really bring in a lot of working staff last pandemic time, and now the sales has dropped dramatically, and there's a lot of people online. So imagine you have to cut costs. So if they start only when they start to really reduce the number of people, then maybe we can see the share price recovery. At the moment now, I just let you know, I covered this a few videos ago, Amazon increased their workforce from 800,000 to 1.6 million people in just 2 years. And only recently they reduced by only 10,000 people. That's nowhere near. So I think that they had to effectively reduce by another 200 to 300,000 jobs, then maybe this will attract some investors to come in. But if that would happen, that will put the recession card on the table, which I already tell you that it will definitely be coming in. All right. So last but not least, this is where it gets interesting right now. What do you think? Do you think that we are going to face the similarities that we saw back in 2008, or we're going to see the seasonal pattern? Now, the seasonal pattern shows that by now there will be Santa Claus rally, and that will bring the market higher until the end of the year. Now, this is the 20 years seasonal pattern chart, and we all know that since 2009 until to date, most of the time the December month has been pretty clear. There will be upside, but you must understand that from 2009 until now, that was because the Federal Reserve was involved in every single year. So the thing is this, if you look at before 2009, from the chart from 2008 versus the 2020, there is an incredible eerie similarities here. And by right itself, right, if you follow this, why God, we're going to see a huge sell-off from Christmas onwards. So what do you think, guys? I also am not too sure. I'm pretty lost at the moment. So because of that itself, right, I'm going to just stay out for a while and see how the market develops. All right. Okay, so that will be the fundamental. Let's look at the technical for today, shall we? Now, this is the technical, but before we go into that, let's look at the KFC level once again. Now, you can see that my Dow KFC level is at trading, the number that I mentioned itself is at the 33,031. And you can see that 2 days ago, it went below it and it came down and it touched base my level, 32,550 level, and did a very powerful recovery. So now the thing is this, the market has to stay above 33,031 for any further upside. If not itself, right, it should be able to revisit this point once again. All right. So that is the Dow Jones, and then how about look at the Nasdaq, shall we? The Nasdaq has lost the KFC level and it has came down. Now today is a doji, so most likely the market will be directional. If the market stays above OP for today, we can see going back up to 11,200 level. But if the market goes below the OP later, then the selling could bring it down all the way to 10,820, and that means it'll break below the 11,000 mark again. All right, but so traders, watch out for this. By likelihood, the market will find some support at the moment right now. All right, so that is the KFC level. Let's look at the market. So let's look at the Dow. Okay, here we go. The Dow Jones today has traded above the opening price and pivot 1. So that is usually a case for buying, okay? So as long as the market stays above 33,012, the market will likely be on the buy side. Now KSI is red, KRW are red, so which means that both of them are signifying or actually implying that the selling is still going to be around. So watch out for 33,012. Only if it goes below it, then the sell can be done, okay? S&P 500 right now, today the market is a doji directional day, and KSI turned green yesterday, showed that the buying interest from the boys came in, while the KRW retained as red, so there's a mixed bag here. But as long as the market stays above the MLP and above OP with the KSI is green, the market should be able to go up, and the first resistance will be at 38.47, which is right now. So once the market can break above 38.47, we can see going back to 38.55 zone. Yeah, so traders, watch out for this. And we can have the Nasdaq. Right, that's already covered that itself. So Nasdaq, as long as it can stay above OP and MLP today, we can see going back to 11,200. So you can see that that is the pivot one right here. Okay, so all this information are there for you. Now, for the Hong Kong market today, let's take a look. Hong Kong today has ended as a doji, all right? The market failed to cross above the BNB RL, that is at 19,749, and we have news saying that there going to be a chance of more opening up for Hong Kong, so that is why the market is kind of supported at the moment now at this 18,993. So I just believe that the market is going to go up a little bit and test the MLP again at 19,190 later, all right? And let's look at the Nikkei. The Nikkei, as you can see, it hardly recover. So I don't think what's happening here right now makes sense here to be very careful on this. The upside potential is 26,801. The downside can stretch all the way down to 25,753. Okay. Now DAX has opened and DAX has gapped out this morning. This afternoon, sorry, and now it's resisted at 13,984 level. All right, so let's see how it goes. If the market can stay above it, then the upside will bring it back to the BNB extension at 14,142. But if it fail, then the pullback will be 13,849. At the moment now, both KSI and KRW are more towards the sell side. So traders, you need to watch the opening price very, very closely. Alright, so that is the indices. Let's look at the oil market, shall we? Now, the oil market is really doing a sideways momentum movement now because the BNB support level is at 76.84, and as long as the crude oil can't go above it, it will be retained to the downward side. Now, the BNB, the pivot 1 and pivot 2, the range is pretty tight, 77.03 to 24.31. So the market is bouncing around this area. So until we see a significant breakout, then we can see it going to the $80 mark. Now, to me, I think that crude oil could be an instrument, a catalyst to punch the market up. All right, if the market really needs something to move it. All right, so of course it depends on how the market look at it. Usually when the crude oil price goes up, the Dow Jones also follow through. But also if the crude oil price goes up, inflation worry comes in, then the Dow may be pulled back after a while later. All right, so that is the crude oil. Let's look at the remaining, or like gold market, shall we? Now, gold has climbed up yesterday ferociously past the BNB RL level. The BNB RL level is at 1810. So by closing yesterday at 1817 should be a good sign. So 1810 would be the support for now. If the market can stay above 1810, we could see the market going back up to 1825 later. Okay. Now the support, as you can see, is the BNB support level, very strong at 1765. So the support range will be at 1765 for now. All right. So that is the gold. Let's look at silver and silver chart. Hold on a minute. The wrong one. Silver yesterday blast past the BNB RL. The BNB RL is somewhere near $23.50, and you can see the support level is here at $22.18. So as long as silver can stay above the 23.52, silver can go back up all the way to $24.86. But at the moment now, it's about pullback here. Let's see and observe and see what will happen next. Last but not least is Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now, Bitcoin did a strong BNB yesterday. It was down initially, down to about 16,200 area, and they rebounded strongly all the way back to this high of 17,000. So at the moment now, is the new BNB tells me that the market now will be resisted somewhere around here and will be supported somewhere around here. So that means that the resistance will be at 17,000 and the support will be at 16,200 area. So traders, watch out for this. And last but not least is the Ethereum. Ethereum also did a strong BNB yesterday when a low of 1149 and a high of 1230. So now same thing over here, we need to just adjust the BNB, the support level and the RL level. So if the Ethereums go higher, you come back to 1230. Anything lower itself, right, it should be supported at 1150. Okay. All right. At the moment now for Ethereum, as you can see, the boys are still on the sell side. So be careful on this, okay? I'm still pretty bearish on the Bitcoin, but I cannot deny that if there is no clear thing from BOJ, the market may find some upside reason. But once BOJ step in and say that they really need to increase interest rate, because this is how I feel it too, then of course the whole market will go into selling, because the market has been very used to the free money taken from the BOJ side. All right, that'll be all for today. Remember, the special code is somewhere around the screen on the PowerPoint slide. Do make sure that you spot it and put in your comment. All right, see you guys again. This is Cal signing off. Bye-bye.